Hello everyone, this is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I would like to do a recap on my Netflix trade for you today. I also traded MU and WDC for some decent profit today, but didn't want to get into those, just too much to cover in one clip, and I wanted to specifically answer some questions that I've had in my YouTube, as well as feature an afternoon trade, since lately all of my recaps have been pretty early in the morning. I generically like to get my videos out a little earlier, because it kind of, gives you guys a little bit better of a chance to watch them, but sometimes we forget it keeps us from highlighting some of the afternoon trades that we take. So that's what I wanted to highlight today. As we talked about before, I really like levels. And when I trade the pre-market, I really like using levels, and the afternoon or pre-afternoon is absolutely the same. Love levels. We actually had one of our traders, Hiltzy, shout out, man, thank you for the call out, actually called out Netflix. I didn't even have it on my radar, but he was calling out that it looked like it was great for going for high of day. So I thought I'd take a look at it. When I put in the ticker and clicked, the first thing I noticed was this massive green candle that it was putting up. At the time, we were getting right near 336, which would be a breakout above the previous high of day. And I really enjoy high of day breakouts in that fashion. When it's a high of day that's getting pressed up right against a previous day's high, that's a very powerful level that can certainly be very useful. So what I was looking for once I saw that was a break for that level. So I went ahead, I pulled some other levels throughout the day. I'll show you how well those line up, and then we were ready to go. So we're just talking about major daily levels here within the immediate time frame. So as Hiltzy called out, it did reject off of high of day, and it came down here and actually bounced off of 535.08. 535.08 was not a key level in any capacity for me. Rather, it was just the bottom of this support. So when I'm trading this breakout, what I do is I allow it to first establish its high of day, which it did, and then it makes a significant pullback. So you can't, a high of day breakout, in an ABCD pattern, this is the difference between those two. This comes off and it finds a support level. Now, once it found a support level here at 35, we'll call it, 13 or something like that, it started to move up the averages and was actually walking quite nicely up the averages and managed to reclaim that previous day's high. And that's when I went ahead and took my long on it. My risk was going to be the loss. Let me zoom in a little bit. My risk was going to be the loss of the previous day's high. So it was really, really tight risk for Netflix, which is often very hard to pull off. I actually went in a little heavier than I wanted, so I actually took a little bit off almost immediately after I got in for about a $5, $10 loss on the original position, unfortunately. But which I guess I shouldn't have done, but risk management, what are you going to do, right? So I sized down just a little bit, but my stop out was going to be the loss of the previous day. I got my first partial above 337.50. And then I got another partial at high of day and then took partials at the break. So this is really an ideal setup for a high of day breakout, having these key levels here to give you an ability to judge your distance, right? I had to mitigate my risk here because the risk that I took was for only a very small break, and I couldn't, if it broke and slipped and went down towards 335 in hard fashion, that would have been a really rough loss. So I had to mitigate a little bit of loss, but then got a really good breakup on Netflix here. Now, once again, in a very similar fashion, eventually I took a partial as we broke 341.12, which was also the previous day's, or the previous day's high, and the open of the day before that. So another very key level also got tested here. So since it was holding it and it actually looked like it was getting, looking pretty good, I went ahead and did a free roll on my position here. Free roll is my worry-free add-in that I call, which is basically what I'm doing is I'm adding in here, but I'm only utilizing my unrealized position in order to add in. So I can adjust my stop, and then I add it in, and then I just add it in for the loss of the, I actually gave it about to 340 for my add-in. So, which was fine. It held that up nicely with the averages, got back above previous, and then we were off, and then I started taking partials at key levels. Each of these lines, looking back here again, we've got previous day's high, or sorry, we're going to go back 4 days the high, 4 days back, the 6 days back the high, and then the top of that, which is basically an all-time high, I believe, or at least getting, at least for the recent memory, for this quarter, if you will. So, and you can see here, we got partials up to here, went here. I actually did an add in here, and then it pulled back, and I took off my add when it came in here for a small loss, just on the add. Just because it started to break down the level, but it never came back to 341, and it actually put in a nice, a nice doji here that made it look nice and strong. It came back up. I added back in to my position, added in a little bit more because I really like the strength of it, and then we got some pop-ups, and then I've got some partials going on now up at 343.50. So now we're just hanging on here a little bit. I've got a 343.50, and then another partial at 344.50. So we're moving up nicely, holding on quite good. I will get all out if we lose this 342 area, and we will be calling it a day. Otherwise, solid trade on Netflix. Hit this was a almost daily goal trade. Around $350 just on this trade alone. So really appreciate it, Hiltzy, again for the call out and giving me the opportunity to take a nice afternoon trade for everyone. So I hope everyone's having a great day, and I hope you're all staying green. Thanks.